Hi, and welcome to TV My Husband Hates. I'm Kat Sims.
And I'm Reagan Kempton.
And we are reality TV addicts?
Addicts, aficionados?
Ooh, I like that. Experts.
Experts.
Basically, we know our shit when it comes to reality TV.
100%. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of TV My Husband Hates. I'm Reagan, here with you always. And how you doing, Kat?
I'm doing all right. I'm going to be honest, just wake up from a nap. I know I'm going to feel great about that nap in about half an hour, but right now, I feel a bit like...
This is why I don't nap.
It's 4 o'clock
I'm a
in the
shit
morning.
napper. I'm a shit napper. I wake up cranky. I wake up not refreshed. I feel it fine, like in the evening, but like right away, I'm the worst.
Here's the thing, though. Comes 9 o'clock at night, I'm passing
You're gonna
out
be raging.
Still. I'm still passing straight out. I think it's because I'm doing like at least 20,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
So I'm getting up at 6 to do the steps, then I do an hour, and then I'll go out again for an hour, and then I'm running around with the kids and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
and I've
yeah.
had the kids by myself all week. So,
Right.
To be honest, right now, there is
You're not feeling
enough
it.
sleep. I cannot get enough sleep. Legit. And then Jimmy had to go.
That's good though.
Well, Jimmy had to go do a live radio show this morning, so he got up at 3:45. Now,
Nice.
I'm going to just take a moment to have a vent, and I know he's
Yeah.
editing this, but I have
That's
already
fine.
said it to his face,
Yeah.
so it's nothing he hasn't already heard. But if I'm getting up at 3:45 in the morning, here's what I'm doing the night before. I'm going to have my shower. I'm going to lay out my clothes. I'm going to make sure I am ready to go. So when I get up, I can just grab my clothes, take them out so as not to disturb the person that I love sleeping soundly next to me. I'm going to go maybe get dressed in the kitchen, have a coffee, and get my ass out of the door. What I'm not going to do is set 2 alarms that you refuse to listen to. Then get up,
No.
then turn on the ensuite light so that it just glares all over. Decide to have a shower at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Jimmy. Oh,
I
Jimmy.
swear to God, I could, if I'd have had the energy, I would have stabbed him in the eyes.
Oh man. So here's this is a constant fight in our household because I get up at 4:30 every morning and go work out. I wear an Apple Watch that has a silent alarm that vibrates my hand.
Me too.
So as not to disturb the person in bed next to me. All of my workout clothes are kept in a separate room. So all I do is leave the room, shut the door quietly, and I handle my shit elsewhere. It's a little bit harder now that we're all in the basement, but I have a pile of stuff at the bottom of the stairs that I just take right up and I go. I'm very quiet. This is what I do every single morning.
Right.
No lights. I Ooh. Sorry, Siri. I turn on no lights. I'm like a robber sneaking out of the scene of a crime because I don't want to bother anybody. Honestly, the days I sleep in, sometimes Elijah gives me a lot of shit because I ask him, can you please wear your Apple Watch to bed so that you can have a silent alarm so I can sleep in until 6 a.m. I mean, I'm not asking for like a noon lie-in.
Yeah.
That never happens. But and somebody's like, oh, like I don't like sleeping. And he doesn't do it very often. And I understand that. But I'm like, well, then give me your watch. I'll set it free. Like I can do all the stuff.
Yeah.
But can you just let me sleep till 6 when the kids are going to wake me up eventually? But it's just
raging.
like, I would be too.
But I was like,
There's no excuse for that.
Who the fuck has to get out of the house at 4:30 and thinks to themselves, I'm going to shower in the morning? Like,
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
I mean, it would, even if he was a girl, I might get it because sometimes your hair, you know. But
leave everything like up in the office, right? Because there's a shower in the office.
Use a different fucking shower. We've got 4 fucking showers in the fucking house. Could have picked any of the other showers.
Oh, man.
I was raging. And then I wasn't happy when he came back. I mean, I listened to him on the radio reluctantly. I was like,
well, that's good wife duties. Good job.
yeah, while I was building a purple Harry Potter night bus Lego thing.
Oh, I love that. I love that set. We've done that one.
So good. But
It is.
I was really annoyed that I had to let the kids do it.
Yeah, I don't ever let the kids do it. I let them pick out the pieces and I put it together. So I'm like, okay, guys, I need two-piece gray pieces. Find them.
I was totally doing that. And then at one point I looked around at their faces to see that they weren't really having a great time. And I was having a brilliant time. So I was like, do you want to have a go? Like, yeah.
No.
I'm going to buy some Lego just for myself.
For sure. I want to do, so a friend of mine also has, I think she also has all boys. So we really bond over like the Lego thing because like we love doing Lego with our boys. We do it the same way where we make them find the pieces and we put them together. But honestly, like my kids enjoy that. Like I look at them, they're having the best time because actually they don't enjoy like the fine motor skills of it all. They enjoy like the hunting and like finding the pieces and getting really excited when they find it.
Oh, sometimes I wish I had boys.
She and I bond over that because she put together the Millennial Falcon Lego set, which is like phenomenal. Crazy huge. There's a Death Star one that I would like to put together, but it's like $1,000.
They're so expensive. Yeah. Like ridiculously expensive. I am going to treat myself to like maybe one of the architecture ones or something.
Yeah.
Like maybe £80 or £100, but even that feels like.
I like the somebody on Instagram that I follow did like a deal with Lego and they had like the Beatles portraits. I think those are cool because you can switch and do all the different ones on that one set.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, you do.
It's Kari, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. That is cool. I might do that.
Because then you can take it apart and put it all back together again and just do it on your own. And it's multiple people.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's art.
Well, we'll see how it goes. But
there's my Lego justification for you all.
I mean, listen, we're having longer intro chat than normal, but I think that's fine. Because
God, we have to because these shows.
Cool to talk about.
Oh my God.
I wonder if we just fuck it all off and just have a chat about.
Just have our chat. I mean, I think we can touch on a few things, and then we can talk more about our life in between. How about we do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Hard fucking work.
It is. Well, and I couldn't remember if we had definitely decided to drop Atlanta or not. So I watched it and took notes because I couldn't really remember. And I don't know why I just didn't text you.
I know we didn't talk at all this week.
We didn't, which is very strange.
Unusual for us. I think we were, I was obviously drowning under the weight of having to parent my kids while Jimmy was in rehearsals and working. So I was like, you know, when you're like, you've not got this shit together and you're always firefighting. That's been my life.
No, I hear you. It's totally fine.
But Atlanta, I mean, there's not much to say other than they're just going on and on and on and on and on and fucking on about Bolo and Portia and I.
It's so stupid.
Shit.
Nobody cares.
Nobody fucking cares. We
like,
don't
why
care.
Are we still talking about this? I hope she did. I hope she had a great time.
I hope she rode that massive cock bareback like a cowboy on speed. I hope she fucking hammered it. I hope she got a UTI and just
from all the sex.
I don't give a flying fuck.
You know what? I hope they FaceTimed Dennis and showed Dennis what they were doing too.
I do too.
I hope all those things happened because
everything.
Who fucking cares?
Jesus Christ, I hope she got laid out of this because if we have to sit here and listen to this and nobody had a fucking orgasm, I'm going to be pissed.
For sure. Like, just who cares? Like, I think what bothers me the most is the people who are banging on about it don't actually give a fuck. Like, they just want to be more messy. Like, they just want the gossip. They don't care. They don't care. And we don't care. And nobody cares. I want a new storyline.
I feel like we're at that point in the season where Marlo suddenly realized that they're wondering whose contract they're going to renew. So she's got to start bringing some fucking tea to the game. And it's so boring. And Marlo, just stop.
It's so obvious. Like, if you're going to do this, fucking be clever about it. Like, make it interesting. This is not interesting. You are obviously trying to be messy and insert yourself in the middle of shit that does not concern you. And
the other thing that pisses me off is Marlo putting this like moral slant on it. Well, somebody's lying to me. No. Sweetheart, it's called boundaries. Just because somebody is a friend does not mean that they have to tell you every goddamn thing that they put in and out of their vagina. No. It is not on your list of things to fucking know. And so
it's not.
Reel your fucking neck in.
And aren't you busy enough? Like, you've taken over like custody of your nephews. Like, you've got shit going on in your own life. Get over it. Like, I want Marlo from last season who was too busy to put herself in this bullshit. This is awkward as fuck. I feel so bad for Big Frida. She didn't ask to be put in that awkward ass position. It was the most uncomfortable meal ever around a guest. I mean, like, Candy was like, we don't need to bring other people into our mess. This is just embarrassing.
It was. I was embarrassed watching it. And then Portia just fucks off, does her Irish goodbye.
Yeah,
she's out.
good for her. I'd do the exact same.
Me too. I don't fucking blame her. Like, I just can't understand why Marlo, who appeared to have learnt her lesson with Kenya,
Right. Yeah,
is now so keen to be back in the bosom of Poison.
I think she feels if she aligns with Kenya, it makes her more interesting, and they will bring them back for the conflict next season.
Well, then
I don't know.
I'm not fucking watching it.
No.
Honestly,
no, I feel like
Kenya.
For sure. And maybe we need to start like voting with our viewership. I mean, I know we're only 2 people, but we watch a lot of these shows, and maybe we just stop talking about them until they become more interesting. Should we drop them next week?
Dropped. Let's drop Atlanta next week. Bye.
Boom.
Out, over and out. Do better. Fuck you, ATL. Right then, let's get on with Below Deck Sailing Yacht now that we've just cleared one show off the deck.
I know, we'll get to start with them next week. That's exciting.
I'm excited. I'm feeling ruthless. I'm feeling like we are making a statement with it.
Well, I feel like this week especially, these shows have been bullshit. And it's like, I feel like people are resting on their laurels, and that's not cool. So we're going to take them to task for that.
Exactly. But Below Deck Sailing Yacht, again, a fairly quiet, unexciting, dare I say it, week. Am I being
No, I think you're being a little harsh. I think this show was kind of a diamond in my week, to be honest, because I was like, at least something's happening that we are not talking about the same thing that happened from 6 weeks ago. So that's exciting to me. Maybe the bar is just really low this week.
Yes, exactly. I was just about to say. Standards aren't high.
But we have a proposal night on an ex's birthday. I mean, honestly, the guests are probably the most exciting part of the show at this moment in time. But like, you've been married, like you've been with this other dude for years, have all these kids with him. You know when his birthday is, and you think it's the perfect evening to then propose to your daughter's ex-boyfriend, now your boyfriend, on your ex's birthday.
I mean, I think you sort of implicitly
answered my question.
In that there is sort of no boundaries with this lot, and the guy doesn't seem pissed off.
No, he doesn't. No, everybody seems fine.
Everybody seems very happy.
I do question. I was gonna say, I mean, who hasn't been there after a night of Sambuca shots? Really, you set them on fire. They're all fun and games, and then they're not so fun later on. But she was taking an awful lot of shots. Like, part of me wondered if she was just trying to drink her way through this evening.
Pain. I mean, can you imagine your ex-boyfriend and stepdad?
I mean, I have step parents. None of them who I've had sex with. Thank God. Because I think that would be really awkward. Like, I used to have sex with that guy, and now he's doing my dad.
I'm going to be honest. If that was the case, that would be April's Patreon content. Just saying it. I'm just putting it out there.
Oh, yeah. That's the story. No, I can assure you it has never, ever fucking happened. But, yeah.
Guests aside, I'm really feeling for Daisy at the moment because I feel like she is the one person holding this shit for the guest experience together.
For sure. Like, does nobody else give a fuck about their tips? Have they forgotten they get tips?
Right, and this is the first time I've seen the deck crew be so crappy about supporting because I get it. Like, I can say, I get their point. They've got shit to do. But what they don't have to do, which the interior has to do, is do a shit ton of stuff all at the same time. So serve a 9-person dinner, various courses.
Make their cocktails.
Do all the drinks. Do all the rooms. Prepare
and the washing.
And do all that laundry. So it's like,
and the dishes.
Those moments, they just need a bit of fucking help.
Yeah.
And I think Danny has been incredibly clever here because obviously she's like horny for JL, fine. But this has a side effect in that he's going to want to be in that kitchen helping more now.
That's right.
She's been smart.
Danny is not an idiot.
No, she isn't. Sydney is, though. Just saying.
Oh, my God. She is the most awkward person. Like, every time she comes on the screen, I'm just like, go away. I can't even bear watching you right now. Like, she has got to stop this like pretend happening upon Gary and Allie all the time. It's not pretend. We know you've trained your body now to listen to when it's only the two of them speaking, and you're going to wake up and interrupt it.
The thing is like,
what the fuck?
As a teenager, when you're 12, 13, you start fancying boys, and you only know, I mean, for us, we only knew like a handful of boys. So inevitably.
Yeah, because you went to an all-girls school, didn't you?
Yeah, so we fancied the same people. And so, you were in that situation where you didn't want to leave two people alone because you wanted to get off with him and he might get off with her. Like, I was 13 years old and I can feel this in Sydney, and that feels weird. And then she has this conversation about with Ali about how she just like calls people up when she needs a shag.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
I
think
she's a bit needy.
I feel like she's trying to put this like cool girl facade that can handle one night stands out. So she's making up bullshit stories that support this cool girl facade. It's not fucking there. You're awkward as fuck. You really like Gary. He doesn't feel the same way about you. He was very fucking clear about it. Like, just stop. Just stop, babe.
This is a very awkward throuple.
Like, you need an intervention. Like, it's okay to be upset and be like, you know what? I fancied him. I shouldn't have let myself do that. It's okay to be honest about that. Have that conversation. Not like, I'm really cool with this. This is how I live my life, but I don't know where I stand with him. Well, he told you where you stand with him. That night he told you where you stood. Like, Gary, I don't want to be on Gary's side. You keep forcing me to be on Gary's side about this. It's really pissing me off. It was just a one-night stand.
Very clear. Nothing wrong with that.
Very clear.
Nothing wrong with that. But now you need to get the message and move the phone.
Yeah. Just stop. And let Allie get off with him if she wants to. Because I think Allie could handle it.
Yeah. Don't get your tits out and push and then push
Allie.
It was like, oh my God.
That was so weird.
It was so weird. And it's so childish. And then they're going to get a bollocking, obviously, because Captain Glenn's like, who the fuck is jumping in the water at 2:00 in the morning?
How gross is harbor water too, by the way? Like, that's like jumping in a toilet.
But it's not okay.
It's the ocean's toilet, a harbor.
I also would have thought that jumping in the water in the middle of the night,
it's unsafe.
Especially when you're drunk, is really against the rules.
For sure. Well, because remember when like that guest did it on Captain Lee's boat and like he had to banish her from the boat? Like,
who could forget?
Yeah, I know. So this is not good.
No, it isn't good. But I mean, it makes for great TV. It's fun watching that.
100%. It just makes me really uncomfortable.
It's
also,
a bit sphincter clenching, isn't it?
It is 100% sphincter clenching, like the cheap ass tip that they got. That tip was terrible.
I don't blame them at all. And here's for why. Natasha.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is how excited I am about the whole thing. She is single-handedly 90% undermining that tip every time. I rewound it. I saw that she was taking ready-made croissants that she just had to put in the oven. I make those for my kids every fucking weekend, and I'm not a Michelin star chef. So she's doing ready-made croissants.
Even the shittiest chefs that we've seen have made their own pastries.
True.
Yeah.
And then store-bought cakes. We've never seen a chef buy
a cake.
We've seen them be really pissed about having to make a cake.
But they've made them.
Buy it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then she's like promising the earth to the guests, promising the moon to the guests with the bloody cotton candy machine.
Yeah.
And then just doesn't do it, but doesn't let Daisy know, just sets her up for a fall and then fucks around. And she's
infuriating.
Yeah. And the service, listen, these guests were weird and a pain. I actually liked them towards the end, but
for sure.
But they had crappy service for a lot of their stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I agree.
I'm not shocked that they left them. I mean, to be honest, it feels like an awful lot of money to have to give over when you've had a bit of a crappy experience. I mean, I'm on their side with that. Sorry.
Interesting. See, I wonder if they would have been good tippers anyways.
I think they would have been.
You think so?
Because I think he would have seen it as like an ego thing to be able to just drop 20 grand.
I mean, that envelope still looked fucking massive. I know. So was it like $15,000 in ones? I was like, here you go. He should have just made it rain then. Pulled out like a dollar gun and just like shot it at them. That's what I want to see.
I really want a dollar gun. Like, I feel
I
like
can sort that out for you.
Do you send it
Your
to me with
birthday's
the
coming up.
dollars? It is.
Your birthday's coming up.
Yeah. Let's do that. Anyway, listen, below deck sailing yacht. I think it's going to get exciting with the Sydney, Gary, Ali throuple.
Oh God.
I think they're gonna, at the very least, get themselves into trouble. It's always fun to see that, because I don't think we've really seen crew members being that naughty.
We also haven't seen Glenn really lose his shit.
No.
I don't even know if we will, because he's a fairly chill guy, but maybe he will. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think like we said at the beginning of this season, I think because they are trapped on the boat, we're going to see more crew antics just because they're going to be stir crazy. I mean, that's a long time to spend that close together on the boat without getting to go out in the town and have a meal or, be drunken idiots together.
Well, they're going to feel it tomorrow when they've got guests landing.
Yeah, because there's only 10 hours, 5 hours?
Yeah, 10 hours until their next charter, and they're busy getting naked and jumping in dirty water.
And Gary's the boss. Like, Gary's the head of the deck. Like, that's not a good look.
It's not a good look, is it?
We'll see.
We will see. Let's move on to Dallas. And again, really only one thing worth talking about. Kari continuing to be...
She was so fucking awful to that Bigfoot guy.
It was awful. Like, it was
so rude.
It's like that awful, rich, entitled
for sure
arrogance that just makes you feel like you can talk to anybody however you like. And it's just, and she sat there fucking chowing down on a wiener and then bitching at him for hunting food, but he eats everything that he hunts. Like, that's
more ethical. That's actually more ethical than what she's doing in this moment. Yeah.
But she doesn't care. The facts don't matter to Kari. She just wants to be an arrogant. She just wants to hear her own voice and drown everybody in her own opinion. And it's gross.
Well, and like try to kill everybody with her wokeness, right? Like, that fucking bothers me. Like, believe whatever you want to believe. But you know what? Don't be a dick to other people who may have just different beliefs than you do, but aren't totally against your wokeness. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the guy's just a hunter. He's been invited to give you a Bigfoot tour. Leave him the fuck alone.
100%. I get it. It's the motto of our fucking life. Like, this is our family motto.
Yeah.
Think what you think. Do what you want to do. Whatever it is. Just don't be a dick about it. And Kari was a dick about it.
For sure.
And I felt so bad for Stephanie, because you know that she's mega empathetic and she would have felt that. Like, I felt that.
Oh, yeah.
You don't ever want to see anybody be made to feel like that. And that Kari just didn't get it and woke up still an asshole the next morning.
Oh, God. Well, it was full of everything. It was classist. It was fucking just, like, I can't stand her. I cannot stand her.
It was ignorant. It was all sorts of things.
She complains constantly about, like, not having financial independence. Doesn't fucking, like, okay, so COVID may have ruined that a little bit for her. But, like, does not fucking check her privilege. Like, you are incredibly wealthy. Your husband is working to pay for everything, and you are such an entitled little bitch. Like,
100%. It's
check
awful.
Yourself.
And to get not credit, but she does seem to have a bit of a light bulb moment in this episode.
Because she made Stephanie cry. Like, she wouldn't have. If Stephanie had not cried, I don't think she would have given a fuck.
No, and I agree. But I wonder if that, because she did then apologize to Deandra as well, without any kind of need or even expectation. Deandra had just kind of taken it as, this is just Kari, I'm not even going to go there, and she did offer up an unsolicited apology, which for Kari is something.
It's a first.
Yeah, I mean, pigs were flying, but I don't think it's going to last. She's got a lot of work to do to make me think that she's actually going to have changed.
For sure. I can't. I don't know. She's going the way of Leanne for me very, very quickly.
Yeah, but almost worse, because it seems so contrived.
For sure. We'll see. They've started filming the reunion, so it should be interesting. So I don't think we've got them for very much longer, but
I mean, between Atlanta and losing Dad, I know that Atlanta have already filmed their reunion, haven't they?
Yeah.
Candy's outfit got some press.
All of their outfits did. Portia, I thought, was the only one that looked halfway decent on the Atlanta one. We'll see about the Dallas one, because I think obviously there are going to be a lot of questions about like Brandy's pregnancy and her being pregnant for the entire season and her drinking the entire season. And
well, and you can see it in some of the what they call confessionals and some of the interviews, right? You can see
she's
that
very
she's got a lump. But anyway, I mean, as far as I was concerned, that was literally all there was for Dallas this week.
I agree. Should we move on to New Jersey?
Yeah, let's. And again, it's sort of a one-issue show. We've got Melissa and Joey. The marriage that we all thought was solid as a rock appears to be going through some rocky waters.
Yeah, and I think that's just normal. Like, I just wrote down, like, marriage, arrow, growth, arrow, change. Like, to have long-lasting marriages, you each have to grow within your marriage. Like, that's just the way it is, because people are not the same for 50 years. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that's just where they were struggling. And I think Melissa really nails it. She's like, look, he married me when I was 24 years old. Like, I've changed. I've grown, you know. I'm sorry.
And he was really old school and controlling. I'm going to say controlling. He used to like hold her and make her be right next to him and all of those things. Right. Which worked for her at the time because she'd always had men that were shady, right? So this felt secure to her. For sure. But I 100% agree. And I think this is something that every single marriage comes up against in one shape or form, that somebody changes and grows. And it's not just that you have to, but Joey needs to embrace that. He needs to he needs to stop throwing his toys out of the pram and recognize that this isn't the marriage that his father and mother had.
Well, but I think that's where it is actually the marriage that they had. Like, I really hate when people are like, I saw my parents all the time and this was their relationship. You didn't know what was going on with their relationship. My kids have no idea what goes on between me and my husband. They see what they want to see. And yes, they saw his dad dote on his mother. But you know what? Who knows if like behind the scenes it was the same? Because you know what? Melissa does dote on Joey. She loves him so, like, I love their playful flirtation. I mean, I wish everybody's husbands had the Joe Gorgas sex drive. Like, I would love for my husband to be all over me like that all the time. Too. And she's that way with him too. So I feel like what Joe doesn't see is his marriage from the outside, because I feel like everybody's watching being like, she dotes on you constantly. You guys are very obviously still hot for each other. That's amazing. She also can be her own person. It's not at the expense of you. Like, no, she's doing this to grow together.
I think as an old school Italian man, his ego's feeling a bit of a bruise. But also I think that this isn't just this. He's making it very much about him. And I think what he needs to recognize is this is a journey that Melissa needs to go through, because I think as a mom, you can really empathize with her. Her kids are now at a period where they're of an age where things are finally easing up, right? They've got an au pair. She's built her business. This is her time. And he's not making that recognition that she has given everything, you know, and we've all been there. We spent that time with our babies. We did all of that. And now that they're bigger, we're all finding every single mum, whether they do it or not, gets to a point where you want to forge some more of your own shit, your own time, achievements.
And she gave him his space to grow his business. That's when she was doing everything with the kids, letting him have his own schedule, build his business, build his wealth. It is now time for her. And I think like Dolores really points it out to him, like, dude, she is fucking crazy about you. You need to back off. You are picking fights where there are no fights to be said. And I feel like people need to listen to Dolores and Frank. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're on the other side of those marriages, other sides of their kids being grown. Like, they have a lot of wisdom to impart.
Well, and this is where Joey needs to grow up a little bit, honestly. This is where Joey needs to stop looking at his parents' relationship with these rose-tinted glasses, and where he needs to recognize that, yes, that was great, but now we are 50 years on. Like, we're talking a entirely different generation and an entirely different cultural reference too, because we had first generation Italian parents, very, very different to what Joey and Melissa are growing up in and dealing with. And so he needs to stop being a baby, and he needs to recognize that just because his relationship is going to look slightly different to his parents does not mean that that is a bad relationship.
No, and you can't tell me his parents' relationship was easy. As being first-generation immigrants trying to make it in America and raise 2 kids, there were struggles you never fucking saw, my friend.
100%. 100%.
Like, that's crazy.
But
speaking... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I have no doubt that they'll get through this. This is not the end
for
of
sure.
Kari and Melissa. This is just a rocky period, and every single fucking marriage goes through it. Every single
multiple times. It's going to come up
times.
Every time there's change. Every time life is a little bit different. You're going to have to navigate it.
For 15, 16 years, and it's just where they are right now. And
it's just the way it is.
Through it.
For sure. Speaking of their parents, oh my God, like I cried throughout that remembrance of like Teresa's dad. I got really teary.
I know. I feel like I should have. I didn't, but then I think...
Yeah. You had a hard week with your kids. You were like, fuck it. I wish I was dead.
I mean, it wasn't a conscious thought.
Not trying to... No offense to anybody.
Now that you mention it, there was a moment there where, you know, an eternal rest sounds like a great fucking idea. But I also think I'd watched them all in a row, and I think I was just a little bit deadened.
For sure, by the monotony.
Yeah.
The boringness of the shows this week.
Yeah. So by that point, I think I was like a bit soul destroyed. But it was beautiful. And, you know, I think that whatever Teresa and Joey, all the shit that you can say about them, their what's the word I'm looking? Their family values are absolutely something that I'm in awe of.
Yeah, it was really interesting to me because while they were like going through the whole remembrance of him, what I was really thinking about is like all the shit we've seen Teresa go through. Like, think what you will about Teresa, but like she has gone through some major life shit being on this show, like with her family, with her husband, financially, legally, like it's been a lot.
Yeah. And I think in the last 5 years as well.
For sure.
Concentrated.
And I think where I'm kind of excited is I'm excited to see where like Joey and Teresa go from here, like in their building of this family. Cause they both have loads of kids. Like they're kind of redoing the Gorga family, right? Like it'll be interesting to see where that goes and the values that their kids are raised with and the different families that their kids are raised in. And I don't know. I think I like that there's a brother and sister on one of these shows, and I like that family dynamic being on there. It's really interesting.
And then finally, I mean, we were going to talk about keeping up with the Kardashians. We'll talk briefly about, I guess, Kourtney and Addison, but beyond that, we're just going to talk about the shit show that Khloe is at the moment on.
Yeah, like the real life social media chat. I think that's far more interesting than the show. This show is like, just like I would have rather just not had like they should have just ended it last season. Like, why even have another season if it's just going to be bullshit?
There is
not
nothing
interested.
Of interest. There is nothing. Of interest.
I mean, happy birthday, MJ.
About
that's
Kim
great.
Kanye.
No, there's the occasional Rob sighting, which I'm finding amusing.
Fine, great. I mean, the food god got his £250,000 watch robbed of his wrist.
Of course he was going to.
If you want to wear a watch that is worth more than most people's homes, then you know what? Like, I feel for anybody who gets robbed at gunpoint.
For sure.
But it's more likely to happen to you if you're wearing a vulgar watch like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
They're probably not going to hold me at gunpoint for my Apple Watch.
No. no, they're not.
Observation. And it counts my steps. I bet his $250,000 watch didn't count steps.
Well, let's be real too. Jonathan is fucking obnoxious. Like,
yeah, and he's gone too far down the plastic surgery route.
He really has.
He really has. Mickey Rourke.
For sure.
Anyway.
Let's just slam his body and victim blame all over the place. It's a lead up into what the Kardashians are complaining about. We're just setting the scene with
it is
some
the
victim
irony.
blaming.
briefly, before we get onto Khloe, let's talk about
Yeah.
Addison and Kourtney, because I have to say, like, it's a bit, I'm always a little bit suspicious of people who want to come in and be really good friends with the Kardashians. I mean, of course, to a certain extent, who wouldn't be? I thought maybe she's a bit thirsty. But the more it got on, the more I just thought, actually, I've
just
not
get
seen
on.
Kourtney this happy. Like, I haven't seen
For
her laugh
sure.
and have that much fun in a long
Kourtney
time.
has a friend. We should all just be excited that she has a friend and she's not being an obnoxious bitch like she has been in the past. Like, I loved Kourtney this season, actually. Whatever's happening, personally, friendly, whatever with her, looks good on her. And I'm happy for her.
Me too. And if it's her little Polly Pocket TikToker friend that's making her smile, then that's what it is. Power to her.
Absolutely. Because I think Addison is fairly, because weren't you mentioning she's like 79 million followers or something on TikTok?
I mean, it's a ridiculous amount.
Like, she's doing all right. She
Just,
really doesn't need the Kardashians.
No, well, because I have a TikTok creator fund, just saying, because I got to 10,000 followers, and that basically means that I get money for all the likes and engagement that I
just brilliant of TikTok to do, by the way, as a platform.
Great.
Instagram, you should pay attention to that.
Just to be clear, though, I've probably been doing it for about a month, and I've earned £5.39.
Shit, man, it's £5.
Although I did have one video go viral a couple of days ago, so tomorr's payout.
There you go. It could be a full bottle of wine.
I might be able to buy myself a bottle of wine. Anyway, so she's definitely secure in her own right in terms of her fame, if that's what you want to call it. But listen, Kourtney's happy. We've seen Kourtney really down in the dumps. So this is a better Kourtney. And if it's
for
Addison,
sure,
I don't care what's going on with them. Whatever.
No, who cares?
Who cares if she's
not my
out
business
for the lesbian lunchbox? Nobody cares. We don't care. Whatever it takes to put a smile on Kourtney's face.
For sure, because she's literally the hardest person to please on the planet, I think.
Yeah, she really is.
Addison, if you're doing something right, you're doing something right. Like, I think everybody appreciates it.
Yeah, you're keeping miserable Kourtney off the streets. We're here for
absolutely.
Now let's forget the show because we're not interested. But there has been some off-screen drama with Khloe this week regarding an unauthorized image that went viral.
Yes, and if you are looking for said image, you can head over to our Instagram account because it is on there, and we've never been bullied or asked to take it down. So,
not so
interesting.
Far.
Yeah.
Check mail, cease and desist letter.
Right.
But no, it's fine.
Kourtney Kardashian's at my back door right now, threatening to kill me.
Hello. Yeah. With her nails.
I'm so torn on this whole thing because you guys have not been keeping tabs on it. So this unauthorized, meaning essentially just untouched, normal, natural picture of Khloe surfaced on social media. There's a lot of different stories about who put it up and who didn't. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's just an unfiltered picture of this gorgeous girl who looks like a normal person.
Looks
That's all it is.
Fierce.
Badass. I'm here for it. However, now the whole machine, which is the Kardashians, have been sending out cease and desist letters, bullying other Instagram accounts that have put it up there because they want this image erased from social media forever, which, let's be honest, it's on the internet. It's never going to happen. I'm of two schools of thought. I do feel like people should have say over their own images and what gets out there or not. Like, I get that. Like, it's a picture of you. You do what you will. However, the Kardashians have essentially changed beauty and body image standards forever for everybody. And they've done it fraudulently.
Yep.
With filters and all this kind of stuff. So part of me is kind of like, you reap what you motherfucking sow. Like, you've set these standards. You can't then be pissed off that you're being held to the standards that you've set.
The unrealistic standards that you have set. And I 100% agree. I have never, ever been more disappointed in Khloe Kardashian. I've always been, she's always hands down been my favorite. She's always one that seemed most grounded. And when this picture came out and she was upset, I was like, she has a right to decide what images go out. But she had a real opportunity to do something phenomenal for all those young, vulnerable, impressionable, easily influenced girls and women who are like flying to Turkey to have cheap ass and I mean literally cheap
cheap asses,
operations, and people are dying. Like, this is not a small thing. And she has for years photoshopped, face-tuned images. What we see on her Instagram,
body filters,
is not what she looks like. And I don't care if she does a live and she looks thin and like,
you can still use filters on. You can still use filters on videos. Like, nothing you see on the internet is real.
No, a pose is a pose, and poses, angles are everything. She had a real chance to own her body and promote body neutrality. Not even body positivity, just body neutrality. Like, who gives a shit? This is my body. Right. I look fierce. And she didn't take that opportunity.
No.
And that, I think, is so... and she went the other way, and it's so damaging. And I don't think I'll ever forgive her for that.
Well, it's not even just damaging to teenagers. Let's be real. No, I'm a 40-year-old mom of 2, and I'm like, damn, like, I need to work out more because that's what she's doing and getting that body. And it's like, no, like, actually, my body probably looks pretty, I still have a little ways to go, but pretty close to what her body actually looks like. And I think I really wish, because she has always been like, you know, with her body, like the Revenge Body show and things like that, always very body positive, like get your mind right about your food, but not in a real freaky way. Like, give yourself some grace, lift some weights. Like, you can do something about some of this stuff. And then to do this, like, part of me is like, just put it out there. Like, put a little disclaimer, filters used this way. If you want to look like this on your Instagram page, these are the filters you need to buy. This is how you do it. Yeah. Fine. But
photoshopped. I agree, and I think that this is going to be the rock that she perishes on in a lot of ways.
I know.
Actually, I think this is going to be bigger than she thinks it is, and it could have been the podium that we all raised her up on, and actually,
like, she could have
absolute opposite.
I think if she had taken control, like, I think if she had just been like, "Yep, that's my body. I look amazing. I birthed a baby. I'm a strong ass bitch." What? I think she would have surpassed Kim in followers. I think that would have spoken to everybody very, very easily. And it would have righted, like, because we see her this season in the show being so torn about, like, her image and taking back Tristan and all this. Like, had you owned your image, you could have done whatever the fuck you want with Tristan. Everybody would have respected it. Like, you would have soared. And now, like, it's just a fucking joke to me. Like, I don't give a shit.
Her apology statement, where she was like, "I'm really sorry. I'm under unbearable pressure to look perfect." I'm like, listen, babe, you can't create the monster and then complain when it bites you in the ass. Like, you did this.
And as women,
these standards.
We are all under these pressures. You're under no more pressure than anybody fucking else.
And none of the rest of us look like you to begin with. Like, let's be clear. Like, she's really fierce anyway. So don't tell me that you're under tons of pressure when you're the one making us feel crappy about ourselves a lot of the time.
For sure.
I mean, it's
and perpetuating that with the filters.
All the time. And we know, we're not stupid. We know those images aren't real. Nobody was shocked when we saw Khloe's real body.
No, we were excited.
We were like, that's great. But also, it doesn't help. It's still there. It's still insipid. It still seeps into your psyche.
Yeah.
Even if you're a smart, intelligent, aware woman, if she owns it, she's like, of course it's photoshopped and photo-tuned, and this is what I look like, and I'm as proud of this as I am of this. Fine.
I mean, even if she's like, dude, like, I'm so embarrassed, like, I wasn't doing my angles, I didn't have my lighting, but that is what my body looks like, and I'm okay with that. But you know what? I do choose to do angles and whatever because I am a little bit vain. Again, you're still, like, fucking relatable. But to come out and be like, I don't know.
To almost make it seem, this is why it's
like we've all been like victimizing her.
But even worse than that, I think this is what's just occurred to me that makes me angry.
Okay.
Because she's this assumption that we are so stupid that we are now going to believe, this is what she wants us to believe, that actually her body really looks like the Photoshop stuff, and the fake picture is the one that's real. That's essentially what she's asking us to jump on board with.
And still perpetuating this unattainable body image.
And that, I'm like, hang on a minute, listen. Don't call me stupid. Like, just own that is what
Right.
you fucking look like.
Like, I'm sorry, but I feel like the Kardashians PR people got this completely wrong. I think Tracy Romulus, because I think she's the head of the PR company that handles them. She's their friend. You fucking called this wrong. This is not what people want.
I mean,
it's really out of touch to think that's what people want.
Exactly.
And maybe they're becoming irrelevant.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's out of touch. If they can't get this right, then they are irrelevant. And I think this is the moment that maybe that's what's happening, that we are realizing that the Kardashians are so far gone.
Yeah.
That then the stuff they're putting out isn't even entertaining anymore. Like,
no, and like I feel like the bullying of like smaller accounts who use this picture to talk about body image and things that are actually fucking important, to bully these accounts and try to give them cease and desist letters to take them out is gross and tacky. You don't fucking own the internet.
No, you don't. And also I found it really interesting because I saw this picture posted on a number of the kind of big Bravo, accounts. And then when I went back to post it myself, they'd all taken it down. And I was like, oh, should I even post it? And I thought, fuck it. Like, honestly, what are they going to do? They send me a DM or it disappears, whatever. Like, I'll just post it and see.
Yeah.
Clearly, we're sneakier than Kris Jenner gives us credit for. But
clearly, we're below the amount of followers that they give a fuck about. So, but you know what? I don't care. Like, I think it's important to talk about it. I fucking stand against bullshit body image promotion.
Me too. And Khloe should know better. And she's got a daughter.
Yeah.
And you've got a daughter. Like, you've got a motherfucker.
They all have daughter. I mean, there's like a million girls coming out of this family. And it's like, you're being so damaging. I mean, like, like even to take it a step further, look at Kylie and all the stuff that she's had done to her body because of this.
And again, denies everything. Denies
For
everything.
Sure. Like, just be honest.
Khloe denies the surgical work. We can see the difference in you from then.
We're not idiots. Yeah,
we're not idiots.
And we're also people who work out and watch what we eat, and that doesn't happen that quickly. Believe me. I fucking got up at 4:30 in the morning to work out. Like, come on.
I haven't had any wine for like 3 weeks apart from last night when I did drink a bottle, and now I feel like shit. So like, come on, guys, just do better. We're done. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Let's see how.
Should we be done with the Kardashians? Well, should they go the way of the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I mean, to be honest,
there's probably only 2 more episodes anyway.
I mean, let's watch it and see. But I'm not.
If there's nothing interesting, we won't give them any time next week.
No, and I think we need to be ruthless because I don't want to give. I don't want to give time and space to shows that are not fucking delivering.
That's right. Like, we are the consumers. We need to be dictating the content that we are given. And if you are pissed off about it too, then let's be open about it. Like, what the fuck happened this week? Yeah. Everybody just go on vacation, fucking fall asleep.
Apparently.
Come on. We're all in a pandemic. We need more interesting shit.
Exactly. Like, I think they're like, oh, we're in a pandemic. Like, it is what it is. We're like, no, we need you to raise your game. You need to do more, better. I want you scratching each other's fucking eyes out with those nails.
For sure.
Anyway, there is no eye scratching. It's just boring MJ's birthday. Well done. I'm so sorry. I know you're old, but that's fine. That's great.
You know what I did?
Could there be a more boring fucking storyline than MJ's 86th birthday?
No. Do you know what's a more interesting storyline? I looked it up today because I was watching this birthday. I watched the Kardashians this morning. And I was like, is Kris an only child? Because we only ever see Kris and MJ and like her doing all this. No, she has a younger sister that they never fucking feature that is like forgotten and like they never address it. And I found that more interesting. Okay, so I went down a little bit of a wormhole while I was watching because literally there was nothing interesting. I felt there was nothing interesting about this show. So while I was watching it, I was also on Instagram. So there is a cousin on Instagram. Oh, shit. Let me pull up the article. Her name is Karen Houghton. She's Kris Jenner's younger sister. And they just like, apparently they are estranged and they do not get along. But Karen has a daughter named Natalie Zettel. And she has about like 56.9 thousand followers on Instagram. And so she posts a lot of stuff about like her mom and there are pictures of MJ on the account. but it's Natalie Zettel, NATALIEZETTEL. So if you want to follow it, this is the Kardashians' cousin of Chris's younger sister, Karen.
So it's just Chris and the sister.
Chris and Karen, yeah. MJ was a single mom. Yeah, MJ still talks to Karen. It's not like but Chris and Karen do not seemingly have a relationship. But that's a fun wormhole to go down if you guys need something else to do since Kardashians are not serving it up. We'll serve it up for you. Enjoy. With that being said, I think that brings us to an end. If you guys could please rate, review, all that good stuff. I know we've waited till the end to tell you, so you probably already tuned out. But hop on there, give us a little review. It always helps.
Always helps. Thanks very much. And we hope you have a lovely week. Thanks as ever for giving us your time. We hope that you get some downtime. Some downtime.
We hope you get that too.
Yeah. Not a bit racy, a little bit saucy. We hope you get some downtime to watch more shows so that we can see you again here next week. But in the meantime, have a great week. And remember,
smart people watch reality TV too. Bye-bye.
Please subscribe, rate, and review TV My Husband Hates wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at TV My Husband Hates and join the Facebook group to keep the conversation going when the podcast ends. If Twitter's your thing, you'll find us at TV Husbands Hate. Theme music and production for TV My Husband Hates by Jimmy Sims.